This holiday season, shikisha oils in Kenya packs.
This festive season, let the joy of togetherness fill your hearts and homes. Celebrate responsibly and make memories that last a lifetime. Choose activities that bring happiness and health. Avoid alcohol and drugs in this festive season. We're working together to ensure everyone's safety. Report illegal alcohol and drug activities in your area. This festive season, let's protect what matters most, our lives and those we love. Celebrate responsibly.
Good evening and welcome to Easy Friday. My name is Carren, Kibet, and I'm joined by my colleague
Jordan Kago. Good evening. The festivities are here. Take it away.
Yes, happy holidays.
Absolutely.
It's good to have you. It's good to have you around.
Yes. and guess what? Around this time, I was driving around and it occurred to me the holidays are here. And during this time, what usually happens, I don't know, not in a nice, it's a really bad time because sometimes we get accidents, sometimes because of intoxication. Sometimes it's people in a rush to get to whatever they're going. So we urge you to practice caution on the roads. And on that note, what the government has done, it has launched a safety exercise urging motorists and drivers to take caution on the roads during this time. Take care of yourself, your brother, your sister, so that everyone is safe. This is Easy Friday. First things first, this is the night review of what Easy Friday entails tonight. The highlights.
An order of prohibition is hereby issued prohibiting implementation of the variable scholarship and loan funding model until the government complies with constitutional and legal requirements where necessary.
Back to the drawing board. Blow to the government as High Court rules new university funding model is unconstitutional.
Mradi huu vilevile ni mradi wa hiari, sio wa lazima. Na tunaomba wananchi wote washirikiane ili tuhakikishe ya kwamba mifugo wetu wamepata chanjo.
Animal vaccination row. Deputy President Kindiki once against politicizing animal vaccination drive by government.
I want to urge the road users, especially the motorists, please let us observe our traffic regulations.
And safer roads. Road safety campaign rolled out amid calls for Kenyans to exercise caution during the festive season.
For those following with the help of sign language, a sign language interpreter this evening is Anu Wangeshi. Easy Friday begins now. The government has been dealt a huge blow after the High Court in Nairobi declared the new university funding model unconstitutional.
Well, in his ruling today, High Court Judge Justin Chacha-Mwita declared that the government failed to conduct public participation prior to the implementation of the model.
Numerous efforts by the government to woo Kenyans' support for the new education funding model, its implementation has been thrown into disarray. High Court Judge Justice Chacha-Mwita has ruled that the funding model is unconstitutional, discriminatory and contrary to Kenyans' quest for access to equal university education opportunities.
A declaration is hereby issued that the implementation of the variable scholarship and loan funding model as currently stands contravenes Section 53 of the Constitution under the mandate of the Higher Education Loans Board and is unlawful.
The court cited a lack of public participation as a reason for prohibiting the government from implementing it. In 2023, Kenya Human Rights Commission, Boaz Oruku and Eli Mubora filed a case in court opposing the model, arguing that it does not prioritize the needy students. However, defendants led by the Education Ministry termed the model an equitable approach aimed at improving access to university education for vulnerable students.
An order of prohibition is hereby issued prohibiting implementation of the variable scholarship and loan funding model until the government complies with constitutional and legal requirements where necessary.
Joseph Ohungu for Easy Friday.
All right, then, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki is calling for the depoliticization of the anticipated animal vaccination exercise set for January, which is, say, it's a preventive vaccination.
Kindiki says the vaccination exercise is meant to improve Kenya's meat export, as only 10% is being absorbed in the international market owing to lack of sufficient vaccination.
The Deputy President was in Tana River County, an area regarded as a pastoralist county. Kindiki sought to clear the air on the planned animal vaccination drive by government, calling for depoliticization of the exercise.
Mradi huu vilevile ni mradi wa hiari, sio wa lazima, na tunaomba wananchi wote wasirikiane ili tuhakikishe ya kwamba mifugo wetu wamepata chanjo ili quality ama bei ya mifugo yetu iende.
Kindiki says government seeks to increase the output of meat and other dairy products from Kenya as the absorption of Kenyan products in the international market was dwindling.
Hivi karibuni tumepata soko kubwa ya mifugo kule Middle East, Mashariki ya Kati na kule Europa. Tumepata soko kubwa ya mifugo. Lakini mataifa ya kigeni yametuambia ili mifugo yetu, nyama yetu na mifugo yetu ikubalike, lazima tuwe tumechanja mifugo yetu kwa ujumla, kwa sababu tumekuwa tukichanja lakini 10% tu ya mifugo ya Kenya ndio imechanjwa.
The Deputy President further announced plans by government to deploy 200 police reservists to troubled areas of the county to boost police presence.
Nimekuja hapa kuhakikishia kwamba tutapeana na tutatimiza ile ahadi tulitoa mwaka ujao ambao tunaangukia mwezi ujao. Tutapeana polisi wa akiba, National Police Reservice 200 hapa Tana River ili kuongeza mambo ya amani na kuzuia wizi wa mifugo hapa.
While calling for unity, leaders accompanying the Deputy President lauded President Ruto's resolve to reach out to senior political leaders to include them in the broad-based government witnessed through cabinet changes on Thursday.
Na Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais amesema hapa, a fact that where we are today as a country, unga umeshuka kutoka 200 na paka 110, 12 ama 30. Sivyo? This is as a result ya watu kwamba wamefanya kazi ya ukulima na kuproduce mahindi na vingineo, sivyo?
Kama kuna naibu wa rais tuliyekuwa tunamtafuta katika taifa letu la Kenya na tuliyemtaka from day one alikuwa Profesa Kindiki.
Wengi wameanza kupiga nduru na kumkashifu. Kwanza, kwa nini analeta watu ambao walimpinga wakati anataka kura zake za urais. Lakini sisi tunataka tuambie hivi kwamba kura mashindano ya urais iliisha mwaka wa 2022. Baada ya mashindano yale, kilichobaki ni kuleta maendeleo na kujenga Kenya.
Serikali lazima ifanye kazi na kila Mkenya. Na ndiyo serikali sasa ya mseto, broad-based government yenye imeletwa na His Excellency William Ruto na Professor Kindiki Deputy President inafanyia kila mwananchi kazi.
John Jacob Kuria, Easy Friday.
Now, defective vehicles and motorcycle operators have been identified as the largest contributors of road accidents during this festive season.
Well, this came as the government launched a countrywide road safety exercise targeting both drivers and motorists on busy highways in a bid to stem the rising number of traffic accidents.
With hundreds of travelers heading to their rural homes, the Traffic Department and the National Transport and Safety Authority (NTSA) conducted a sensitization exercise in Naivasha along the Nairobi-Nakuru Highway. According to Assistant Commissioner Grace Kakai from the Traffic Headquarters, several teams of traffic officers have been stationed in major roads across the country to make sure that there was a smooth flow of traffic on the roads.
So we have been sensitizing those who are using borders to know what is expected of them and also to respect other road users.
Sentiments echoed by Association of Kenya Driving Schools and NTSA, who emphasized the need to comply to road safety regulations by road users.
Tunawaelezea wale abiria wamebebwa ya kwamba ukiona dereva anakimbia usinyamaze, piga kelele, ongea, ili kama anakimbia speedi ateremshe, apunguze hiyo speedi yake.
We chose this spot because this section is one of the black spots along the northern corridor road, and that's why we chose to be here, so that at least we can sensitize people about this section of our road.
And few kilometers away at Kimandura, Maimayu stretch along the Nairobi-Nakuru Highway, travelers were forced to spend the night on the road following a traffic snarl-up occasioned by a trailer that had overturned, blocking both roads. The government assuring the affected travelers that it was working around to clear the mess.
Jam imekuwa mingi sana sababu ya trucks zimeanguka kwa hii barabara ya Maimayu. Imetusumbua sana, hata saa hii haisafiri kuanzia jana jioni 6 mpaka saa hii tunashindwa watu watasafiri namna gani.
Na nimekaa kutoka pale Rironi mpaka Limuru, nimekaa about 1.5 hours.
I've called upon all police officers to get out in big numbers and ensure that that road has been cleared.
National Highway Authority KENHA has announced that the Nairobi Southern Bypass will be temporarily closed for 10 days from 24th December to January 5th to pave way for the repair of the 3 sections of the transit roads. KENHA Director in charge of structures Jared Makori say the repairs will involve replacing the dilapidated expansion joints along Olesereni, Kibera and Ngong Road interchanges.
Other main works included construction of rigid pavement at the way in motion, extension and construction of a New Jersey barrier or crash barrier on the median, repairs both on the carriageway and of drainage structures.
If those expansion joints are not provided, there is a danger of internal stresses accumulating within the structure, and that will ultimately cause cracking and other.
Senior lawyers and legal experts have now decried what they term as widespread corruption, questionable judgments, and lack of accountability within the judiciary system.
Well, prominent lawyers on Friday painted a grim picture of a judiciary accusing judges of allegedly delivering verdicts to the highest bidder.
Senior lawyers in the country have come out foaming over what they claim is rampant corruption in the corridors of justice, questionable judgments, and alleged protection of corrupt judges.
This issue of judges taking bribe on a daily basis, on every case they handle,
I mean, this is something that has snowballed in the last 10 years. Yes. And that is why people are losing their property.
And that's why we've been emphatic. We'll go for all these judges and we'll go for the commissioners of the Judicial Service Commission who do not want to do the work.
The senior counsels who spoke in Nairobi alleged the crisis is most evident in the land sector, where fake title deeds are being manufactured for profit. The lawyer said such lawlessness has emboldened offenders and created a dangerous precedent.
This invasion of homes and farms must stop. If the police are not capable of enforcing court orders, it is high time the president asked the army to be mobilized to make the title deed what it is.
The lawyers are now calling for the resignation of Chief Justice Martha Koome for allegedly failing to act on complaints against corrupt and incompetent judges.
The Judicial Service Commission is no longer an option because Martha has made it, a club that protects judges. That is why we are looking for now evidence. That is now we will go frontal attack on the judiciary because, I mean, we can't get justice through the Judicial Service Commission.
We must have the Chief Justice resign. Why do we say so? Because the Chief Justice is the head of the Judicial Service Commission. She chairs the Judicial Service Commission's function. She has evidence of judges who are corrupt, but she's not doing anything.
The councils further called for the establishment of a centralized database to document judicial corruption and ensure deeds hold their rightful value.
In the justice system, and we are, as we go to the next page to say, we are going to ask Kenyans and lawyers to contribute to a data bank of wrongdoing, and that data bank will be established in the Office of the Law Society.
Newly appointed Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen has urged motorists and other road users to observe traffic rules during this festive season.
While speaking at Harambee House after assuming his new role from the outgoing acting CS Musalia Mudavadi, Murkomen warned that action will be taken against those breaking the law and risking Kenyan lives on the road.
Murkomen lauded his predecessor, DP Kindiki, for laying a path for him where he vowed to improve service delivery to Kenyans by ensuring smooth implementation of cabinet policies on security.
Well, he also asked all line departments in the Interior and National Administration Ministry to up their game to meet public expectations.
We are in this country, we are in the same government, so aspects of consultation must continue as they have been doing before. In fact, in the coordination function, we work very, very closely with the Interior Ministry, particularly on matters of data, Dangao, and to coordinate the government. We work very, very closely.
I look forward to all of us working together to deliver on the security issues and the coordination of national government work in different parts of our country. I must say that I want to thank His Excellency the PCS for the work he has done, for the period that he has acted, not just in this ministry.
Now, residents of Riomuga village in Kirwa sub-location are reeling in shock following a horrific incident in which a 27-year-old man is alleged to have murdered his wife and 2 children, seriously injured his father before taking his own life.
Well, Charles James is reported to have attacked his family on suspicion that his wife was in an intimate relationship with his father, who is a deacon at a local church.
Liquid petroleum gas, LPG, is a key driver of Kenya's economy and fostering growth. To reduce reliance on firewood and charcoal, the State Department for Petroleum launched the Liquefied Petroleum Gas for Public Institutions of Learning program. Launched by President William Ruto on December the 16th, 2024 at Jamhuri High School, Nairobi, the project's pilot phase targets 20 public institutions, benefiting over 30,000 learners. These include technical schools, secondary schools, and special education institutions. Phase 2 will expand to 40 more institutions nationwide. This initiative will boost energy efficiency, drive economic empowerment, and spur innovation in the energy sector, advancing Kenya's development. LPG, igniting possibilities.
Star 570 hash. Option 1 kuna PS5 na ni full package na inakuja na JBL Party Box. Your boom experience pia iko.
Imekuaje?
Inafika sometime inawasha hata kulala ni shida. Yeah.
Sasa hii jafura mdomo. Inafika mahali inafura kabisa, sasa inateremka meno inakuwa nje yote.
It's hard.
By the way, mimi huwa najikasa tu kama mwanaume. Lakini sasa
can we for a while think of those who are suffering, think of those who need help, and come forward and contribute, just help others, because that's going to be a very special kind of thing. Because when you are helping people, you're able to enjoy.
Napenda kutumia nafasi hii baada ya kuzungumza nawe kuwatakia Wakenya wote heri na fanaka za Krismasi, na pia tunawatakia mwaka mwema wa 2025, mwaka ambao utakuwa na umaarufu mwingi kwao na kwa jamii zao. Asante sana.
All right, then welcome back to Easy Friday. Sorry about that a bit earlier. Bills have to be paid. Welcome back to Easy Friday. We will retake that story one more time. We call it Crime Watch. Carren, take it away.
It's a sad story where residents of Riomuga village in Kira sub-location are reeling in shock following a horrific incident in which a 27-year-old man is alleged to have murdered his wife and 2 children, seriously injured his father before taking his own life.
His name is Charles James. He is reported to have attacked his family on suspicion that his wife was in an intimate relationship with his father, who is a deacon at a local church.
A somber mood has engulfed Riomuga village in Kisii Central Sub-County following a gruesome incident in which Charles James, a 27-year-old father, is reported to have hacked his wife and 2 children aged 7 and 3 years to death before committing suicide.
Asubuhi tumesikia hiyo sauti ya kelele sana, tukasangani hiyo ni nini. Tumepata huyu kijana alipika huyu, alimchapa panga na akakuja akachapa bibi yake, akamnyonga, akapiga watoto 2, 3 saa kwanza. Akaua na akanyonga na huyu mtoto mmoja, lakini huyu mtoto anang'ang'ania kwa hospitali.
The tragedy is said to be fueled by suspicions that James Masese, the father to Charles James, was having an intimate relationship with his wife.
Sisi hata hatutaki kuona huyu mzee kwa hii kijiji kwa sababu ndiye amefanya hii matare kufanyika.
Recounting the horrific ordeal, Masese revealed that his son stormed into his house at around 11 p.m. wielding a machete.
Nikasikia panga ya kichwa, panga ya shingo, panga ya mkono, panga ya wapi, nikaanguka chini.
And in a separate incident, a family in Beere in Embu County is appealing to law enforcement authorities to expedite the arrest of a 27-year-old man accused of assaulting their 96-year-old grandmother, leading to her untimely death. The elderly woman, Sabina Njoki, passed away while receiving treatment at Embu Level 5 Hospital after sustaining severe injuries on her head during the attack.
Na walipigwa wakiwa wamama wawili, walipopigwa walipelekwa Kiambere Hospital, alafu walipopelekwa wakaonekana na daktari hawezi tengenezewa hapo, wakaletwa Embu Level 5 wakaandimetwa. Walipoandimetwa, huyo mama yangu wa miaka 96 akaaga dunia after 1 week kwa sababu alikuwa ameumizwa sana kichwa.
However, according to the deceased son Peterson Munyi, the suspect, whose identity is known to the family and residents of the village, is still roaming freely in the village.
Serikali isukue hatua huyu jamaa awekwe ndani kwa sababu esafanya kitendo ingine, kwa sababu area hiyo ya Mariali location hakuna mtu anajua hiyo jambo.
For Easy Friday, I'm Abdulaziz Abeid.
Now on to more beautiful news. Mali Maisha, a boy who was abandoned at birth in a city hospital due to a cleft lip and palate, has been given an early Christmas gift through a life-changing surgery.
I actually love his name, Mali Maisha.
Yes.
Now, this successive surgery was done courtesy of the Save a Life organization and Help a Child Face Tomorrow in partnership with Nairobi Hospital.
Doctors at the Nairobi Hospital cuddling baby Mali Maisha after a successful cleft lip and palate surgery.
The little bundle of joy was born and abandoned 6 months ago in Bagathi.
Reason? Her facial deformity. The story of baby Mali Maisha spans back 6 months ago when she was abandoned at Magathi Hospital. Now the astute toddler will find herself at a children's home.
And he had a problem with his nose, what otherwise is known as a cleft lip, cleft palate. Indeed, a life has been changed. The true heroes of today are Save a Life, as well as New Life Homes.
Fast forward, and with the intervention of the Save a Life organization and Help a Child Face Tomorrow in the Nairobi Hospital, baby Mali Maisha underwent a 1-hour cleft lip and palate surgery.
If you know that you gave birth to a child at Mbagathi 6 months ago and you ran away, your child is now looking in a very beautiful human, and will be more beautiful than many of us. You better come back and claim that child.
The entire process required time, selfless effort, and resources, especially by the medical experts, including a 24 hours full surveillance prior to the surgery.
It's 24-hour care before the surgery. But I think afterwards now you'll find that most of the people who are taking care of that child for 24 hours, they will be able to do other things that will be able to contribute to the economy. And it's the same thing with the parents who are faced with this kind of situations.
The gesture is part of the organization's corporate social responsibility.
Who knows, the bundle of joy behind me would one day end up being the President of the Republic of Kenya. So never give up on a child. Carry them along.
Ian Muse for Easy Friday.
Beautiful. Now, Kenyans traveling abroad for work or any other engagement have been urged to ensure they have proper documentation to avoid contravening the laws of the respective countries.
Well, this comes as the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs says it has so far evacuated over 800 Kenyans from troubled Lebanon, with more than 100 still awaiting evacuation.
On Friday, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, who is also the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, issued his ministry's scorecard as the year comes to a close.
The state visit to Japan by His Excellency the President early in the year, during which an exchange of notes was signed, providing a grant of Kenya shillings 3 billion to enhance the KEMRI research facility. A state visit from Uganda resulted in the signing of a tripartite agreement on the importation of transit of refined petroleum products, the resolution of several non-tariff barriers, and the establishment of a landmark agreement.
Mudavadi also highlighted Kenya's role in regional and continental integration.
This was crowned recently with President William Ruto becoming the chair of the East African Community Summit.
Mudavadi reiterated that Kenya remains committed to maintain peace and security.
We have so far 381 troops in Haiti, and it is our commitment that we shall be systematically, once the logistics are in place, dispatch the remaining 616.
The question of the safety of Kenyans working outside the country also took center stage, with those traveling urged to ensure they have proper documentation.
It is extremely dangerous to move from Kenya as a labor migrant or as a worker traveling on a visitor's visa or a tourist visa to expect that once you arrive on the other side, you'll be able to convert that to a work permit. Let me be very clear. This is how we have ended up with a lot of human trafficking cases.
So far, over 800 Kenyans have already been evacuated from Lebanon.
Beyond the evacuations, we do have about 100 women currently housed in various shelters in Beirut that we are working to evacuate.
Kuhakikishia tu wote wanaotembelea Kenya ya kwamba wako salama. If there are circumstances in which there are very clear requests from our friendly neighbors for support to be able to release certain individuals, I think Kenya will not stand back from being able to honor this request.
Nancy Okware, Easy Friday.
All right, then our police commanders across the country have been urged to incorporate community policing as part of efforts to bolster national security.
Now, speaking during the closing ceremony for National Police Service County Commander Strategic Leadership Course, Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja reiterated that community policing is a critical component in maintaining overall security in the country.
Well, Kanja says that his commitment to transform police stations into centers of excellence for police operations. Are the lucky winners of the 1 million shillings prize of the just concluded Jinais na Receipt Legit campaign by the Kenya Revenue Authority.
The two were awarded Friday after participating in the one-month-long campaign conducted by the tax collecting agency and its media partner, the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. Carren says the campaign has recorded an increased uptake by the informal sector onboarding the services on the electronic tax invoice management system. The agency has also called on Kenyans to adopt the culture of asking for receipts as part of their civic duty of ensuring accountability over their taxes.
It's awesome to be one of the millionaires today. I'm very, very happy. Well, the campaign has been okay. When I started it, it was like I didn't expect that it will result into this per se.
It was a superb job. And as Commissioner has said, it's historical seeing the taxman giving back. You know, the last time it happened, it was during the Bible, the Zacchaeus. So it's something that is new to us as the taxpayers.
We had more than 26,500 Kenyans that signed up to the promotion. And in the campaign, we had more than 500,000 receipts that were actually scanned and transmitted by the participants.
As we speak right now, tied closely to this campaign, our VAT registered taxpayers are in the process of finalizing the filing of the VAT auto-populated return, culminating from the e-TIMS implementation, where we expect that all businesses have transmitted their invoices, then we simplify the tax filing process for you.
Now, an Indian national, Chikati Narasimshi Rao, has pleaded not guilty to charges of forgery before Principal Magistrate Susan Shitubi.
Now, Rao is accused of forging the signature of Malkiat Singh Dillon, the Managing Director of Printing Services Limited, to promote himself to the position of production manager.
Our court reporter Letua Deborah has the details in the Scales of Justice segment.
Chikati Narasimha Rao is alleged to have forged the signatures of the Managing Director of Printing Service Limited on 1st of April 2010. 14 years after the act, he appeared in court where he denied the charges, along with claims of embezzlement of 250 million shillings from the company. He denied the charges before Principal Magistrate Susan Shitubi and was released on a bond of Kenya shillings 500,000 or an alternative cash bail of Kenya shillings 200,000. He was also directed to deposit his passports with the court. The case is set for mention on 20th January for pre-trial.
He is not allowed to leave the country without permission of the presiding magistrate. Prosecution to supply the defense copies of all documents to be used at the trial.
Meanwhile, 2 Italians implicated in a 32 million shilling fraud case will be forced to stay in the country for the festive season after the court ordered the withholding of their passports. Daniel Lococo and Massimo Naviti, accused of fraudulently obtaining money from Rita Napo and Griola Frienzo under the pretense of selling them houses in Watamu, will know their fate on 31st December 2024 before Kilifi Chief Magistrate James Mwaniki. The accused persons also have written to the Judicial Service Commission seeking withdrawal of complaint they had filed against the magistrate, stating they had misinterpreted orders he gave confiscating their travel documents.
These are directions by the court. The parties have 14 days cumulatively to file responses and submissions to the 2 applications, and the defense have brief to file other or further affidavit if need be upon service.
The hearing will continue on 10th January 2025. Letua Deborah for Easy Friday.
All right, then we will take a quick break. We still have a roundup of news from the counties and a feature love on Fridays. We call it the Savage Netizens, and we look at the culture on My Culture tonight. We're back in a moment.
Don't go too far. We'll be right back after this short break.
Yeah.
Christmas ni sahi ishafika na ni kubwa kubwa. Kweli? Hii Kristi ni bomba na Blue Santa kupitia star 570 hash option 1. Rudia. Star 570 hash option 1. Iko PlayStation 5 na 55 TV na iko 500,000 Kenyan shillings.
Nambuzi moja?
Nambuzi. 1 million Kenyan shillings na Samsung S24 Ultra.
Nambuzi moja?
Iko 2 million Kenyan shillings na iPhone 16 Pro Max.
Nambuzi mbili.
Blue Santa amekuja na zawadi kibao. Nani kubwa Hapa kuna ndogo ndogo. Hapa Christmas ni bomba.
This festive season, let the joy of togetherness fill your hearts and homes. Celebrate responsibly and make memories that last a lifetime. Choose activities that bring happiness and health. Avoid alcohol and drugs in this festive season. We're working together to ensure everyone's safety. Report illegal alcohol and drug activities in your area. This festive season, let's protect what matters most, our lives and those we love. Celebrate responsibly.
Naam, hujambo mtazamaji, jina langu ni Nancy Okware na ninakutakia Christmas njema na mwaka mpya wenye fanaka.
All I need to do now is to find out who put
Blackie to it.
What makes you think that he was not working on his own volition?
Blackie is brutal, but not very smart.
Mambo Ruth.
You will get your money by the end of the week.
End of the week ndakuwa nimededi Ruth. Yaje mdosi.
Where are you hiding this criminal?
Bonus William.
He is here!
How do you think this is going to play out?
I'm having such a beautiful morning.
Kekara is very, very well composed at the moment.
That is a good thing, right?
You don't get it. Have Ruth call me. Na saini koda too much anger.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come.
The holiday season is here again.
Surprise! Bella Christmas!
It's family time.
Hey!
It's a season to be jolly, and so grab a seat, relax as your favorite Christmas hosts line up to indulge you this year.
You want some of me?
We got Mr. Claus, the famous Father Christmas. We've got the elves and the reindeers. There's lots of foods and drinks to go around. Great music for the soul.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a jacule.
It's unbeatable, it's joyous, it's Christmas on KBC Channel 1.
Unaweza fanya chochote, hao watu ndio wapelekwa korokoroni.
Wanacheza na watoto wangu, damu yangu.
Everything I touch, everyone I get involved with, lazima tu kila kitu ende mbaya.
Well, I'm sure it has nothing to do na urogi.
Kuna maswali nataka unijibu ambayo yananisumbua.
Ndakujibu nikipata majibu.
Naweza saidiaje?
Siku nzuri hata kidogo.
Yaani ulipatikana kansa wapi tena? Lakini usijali, mimi niko na wewe.
By any chance, did you have anything to do na attack yangu na Jaban?
What, Jano? Hapo ndio nataka kujua. Hebu tuongee hiyo mambo ya insurance.
If I don't see Alex today, I'll take drastic measures.
Sasa hiyo ndio kusema nini sasa?
Harakisha huyo mchawi wako.
Hapa na DJ Andy C, trying to make sure that the music and the vibe is just about, you know, the festival seasons.
Tunatayarisha watu kwa hiyo mood.
Kwa hiyo mood.
Yeah.
The reason for the season is nothing but Jesus. You know, the Bible says, unto us a child is born.
Did you know that your baby boy has walked her angels strong?
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. For those joining us right now, this is Easy Friday, and our sign language interpreter is Anne Wangeshi. Kago.
All right, then just to continue the stories that are shaping up. Remember, we have a roundup of news from the counties, savage netizens. All right, and you're looking at my culture. But before we get there, now Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja says that community policing is a critical component in maintaining overall security in the country. He was speaking during the closing ceremony for National Police Service County Commander's Strategic Leadership Course.
Training, and we will continue to train. We are at advanced stages of discussions with the Ministry of Housing. We want us to benefit from the affordable housing, where we have land in our police stations, in our police divisions, houses can be done to benefit the officers so that the officers can work and stay in their stations.
The 5 weeks stay here has enriched your policing skills, and it has very well enriched your command skills. And as you go back, I wish you well. Please make use of whatever you have learned.
Environmental enthusiasts are now calling on stakeholders, policymakers, and the private sector to push for sound waste management policies.
Well, according to the group, which is involved in waste management, business, and advocacy, a little effort has been put in place to ensure the management of waste is realized.
Our very own reporter Timothy Kipnusu with stories making headlines across the counties.
Calls for formulation of waste management policies took center stage during stakeholders' meeting that brought together women leaders and civil society organizations. According to the group, the formulation of the policy will go a long way in the realization of managing waste.
The Organization of African Youth Kenya calls on the stakeholders, policymakers, the private sectors to prioritize the needs of women in waste management. By addressing these challenges, we can create a more inclusive space.
We also want to see how best we can synergize and actually be a solution to the solid waste management. In what aspect? In terms of awareness creation.
I would call upon the county government of the different counties we are working in to collaborate with us. Nobody can do waste management alone.
Elsewhere, more than 160 families in Manana, Kiambaa Sub-County, Kiambu County, have been displaced after their homes were marooned by flood waters following a heavy downpour on Thursday night. The area, according to the victims, has suffered from floods for over 4 decades.
Have now been trying to create waterways so that we can remove the funds that are inside this residence.
Tumechibua mtaro na ifanye kufanya ni maji iweze kuendeza maji mzuri.
We need an open caravat all the way from Banana down to the other end of the village.
And the Mijikenda community is set to host Mijikenda cultural event at Mamangina waterfront on Saturday to showcase its rich cultural heritage with calls for leaders to shun constant squabbles.
Hii ni shughuli ya kitamaduni na tunahitaji kila mmoja mkaaji wa Mombasa kuja kuangalia tamaduni za Wamijikenda ndani ya Mombasa.
Wagiriama mkuja pale mjionee kwamba sisi tumerudi katika umiji wetu ambao tuliuacha kwa siku nyingi.
In the meantime, Migori County government through the Department of Health Services has launched a 5-year strategic and investment plan. This comprehensive document outlines clear pathways for collaboration and revenue generation in the health sector, which is currently grappling with numerous challenges.
We as the government are investing and relying on our people to actually get the job done. Either if you do automation, you do revenue policing, you do revenue monitoring. If the people factor is not taken care of, you may not succeed much.
And traders at Mugonga Market Kenyenya Sub-County have rejected replacement of the facility's leadership, claiming it was ill-intended. Protesting against the move, the traders instead threatened to boycott payment of taxes to the county government unless it addressed their grievances.
Tunaomba serikali kuu, chairman ile anasimamia masoko yote katika Kenya mzima. Ile mama chairman anamuomba kwamba angalie soko ya Mugunga sawa aone iko budget gani.
Finally, the residents of Nyandwiri village in West Ugenya are a happy lot after a philanthropic organization offered to rehabilitate gullies that have hindered their mobility for years. Led by Mzee Juma Musumba, the residents were ecstatic when Odrod Sin Foundation sent a team to embark on the repair of a road that links Nyadwir village to the Nyadorera Ugunja road and install culverts to facilitate easy movement of goods and people.
Bridge imekuwa na shida kubwa kabisa kwa sababu watoto hawawezi pita hapo kwenda shuleni, wamama hawawezi pita wakienda sokoni.
Muda wowote kutokea sasa, kazi hili litakuwa limeanza na watapata uwepesi. Baada ya siku 4-5 hili sehemu tutakuwa tumeitengeneza.
Timothy Kipnusu for Easy Friday.
Now on to a segment we all love and look forward to every Friday, the Savage Netizens. On this week's segment, all kinds of drama are playing out as the festive season kicks in. Keyboard warriors are having a field day on the unfolding drama associated with the festivities. Interest is the news that police officers at a police station in Uasin Gishu County decided to reap where they did not sow.
Well, this is what they did. Now, they turned the police station into a slaughterhouse after a bull wandered into the compound. The defenders of the law turned violators of the law. They're not spared by savage netizens who did not have kind words for them. Teresa Mutai has more details on the savage netizens tonight.
The festive season continues and it seems like the appetite for goodies just keeps on increasing. We bana, rudisha hiyo chipo we, wacha hizo.
In a classical case of what is found is not stolen, police officers at Kaptagat Police Station in Uasin Gishu County found themselves on the wrong side of the law. This is after a bull wandered into the station's compound and the officers, perhaps thinking it to be manna from heaven, decided to make a meal out of the animal and slaughter the bull. Their theatrics would also set social media in frenzy as keyboard warriors called them out for their bad behavior.
Haters! Haters!
Lo and behold, now I agree that this country should be closed for renovation. Boni in support, hii nchi ifungwe kila mtu arudi kwao. Chepto Bamfazl wrote, utumishi kwa wote, irony of life.
Nataka muniombe. I'm going through a lot of problems. Na ni mimi nijiletea.
Alke, kila mtu akona njaa. Bolo retorted, njaa ya polisi imeshinda ya raia.
Say what?
Daniel, captioning an image, asked, is this Kaptagat Police OCS?
Yes! Yes!
Mwalimu with an assessment, Kaptagat Police Station were hired to beef up security, but wakaanza na beef security baadaye.
In whose hearts will you be safe? In whose hearts will you be safe?
Rogandawala, it's just testing for the upcoming vaccinations. Kabu Chikili added, allegedly they were performing an autopsy.
Bwana, watu si wajinga bwana. Watu si wajinga vile mnadhani.
Lawless, Kenya ni movie.
Ni kama drama, ni kama video.
But to continue with the movie, a major traffic snarl-up along the Nairobi-Nakuru highway turned travelers into campers as they were forced to spend the night on the road after a truck blocked the road on both sides.
Kumbavu zangu.
True wrote, the annual urban-rural migration has started. Agri responded, our usual tradition.
Kama unatoka Nairobi unaenda ruti ya Nakuru, baki Nairobi hautapenya. Kama unatoka Nairobi unaenda Kisima, Imayu, haipitiki. It's a total snarl-up, bakini Nairobi. Wacha sisi wenye tumeenda tuende. Tumetosha wa kuenda sasa up country, tumetosha.
Kiragu with maybe a solution. If there is a road that needs to become a dual carriageway, it's this road.
Kama kuna kaa na mama yako, usikuja hapa.
Peter, common scenes with holidays movements. Martin retorted, more of these to come.
Wacha nilie kwanza. Oi! Oi! Ai! Oi! 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 Oi!
Engineer lamenting, every year, same story. Terry wondering, lazima mkuja up country, kaeni huko.
Nani anakwao? Nani anakwao?
Where it's not that serious, so how about a bit of a jam to continue with the whole...
Unianguke nalo. Savage netizens for the night. Let's look at culture, on my culture tonight.
Oh, yes. Yet another segment that we love and always look forward to every Friday, My Culture, by our very own Jackie Wambiru. Now tonight on My Culture, we journey to Jomvu Kuu in Mombasa County, where the Wajomvu Cultural Festival brought centuries of tradition to life.
Well, as the Swahili saying goes, wacha mila ni mtumwa, loosely translating to one who abandons the culture is a slave. Our reporter takes us through the vibrant celebration of the Wajomvu community's heritage.
Jomvu Kuu village transformed into a vibrant hub of cultural celebration as the Wajomvu community came together for the annual cultural festival. A sub-tribe of the Swahili people, the Wajomvu are renowned for their unique traditions, including the intricate craft of clay pottery, a skill passed down through generations. Wajomvu women take center stage in preserving this craft, celebrating durable pots celebrated for the ability to retain heat and enhance the flavor of food. According to locals, this art form began with two sisters determined to supplement their family's income. Despite the challenges of modern life, the community remains steadfast in their commitment to this heritage.
Hasa kila kizazi kinachokuja ndio kimeshika hii kazi. Na kazi ndo ambayo tulea. Tumesomesha watoto, tukiwavisha mpaka maisha yao. Tusafirisha kazi zote tutafanya kwa hivi viungo. Hivi ndio amali yetu watu wa Jomvu.
Mat weaving is another cornerstone of Wajomvu culture. Women like Saumo Mazari and Mariam Kombo dedicate their lives to crafting intricate designs, even as urbanization makes accessing materials increasingly difficult. These traditional mats hold cultural and economic significance, raising generations and showcasing the resilience of this community.
Sisi tunaona kwetu tuna umuhimu sana na sisi pia hii kazi tufanye. Na sio kwa ati tuwafanya sisi peke yetu, tunafundisha mpaka watoto wetu.
Tunafuata mila na mila ndio hii ya kushona majamvi. Tunayo, hatuwezi kuwata hata tembe kwa sababu mwata usulu ni mtumwa.
The richness of Wajomvu traditions extend into family life. In a typical matrimonial bedroom, delicate details such as a kipepeo fan, Swahili-inscribed decor, and oud fragrance reflect the community's commitment to fostering love and harmony in marriage.
Kuna nakawa hapa kwa maneno mazuri ya kumwezesha bwanako akiingia anaingia na tabasamu. Funua kwa tabasamu kilicho ndani kitamu. Tayari ukisikia maneno tayari mwenyewe anakumotivate.
Local leadership announcing plans to construct our Jomvu Cultural Center. The facility will not only celebrate the community's heritage, but also provide a platform to commercialize their crafts on an international scale.
Cultural Center hiyo itaweza kupanua mambo ya traditional means ya kufanya biashara ya pottery. Itafanywa in a large scale kwa sababu market itaweza kupatikana hapa hata international market.
As the festival wrapped up, the community celebrated their legacy and looked forward to a future where their traditions remain a source of pride and prosperity. The Wajomvu Cultural Festival was not just a celebration, it was a call to safeguard history for generations to come. Jackie Wambiru, My Culture.
In the name of Jesus Christ, Mungu anatarajia ukanyange hatua mbele. Wengine wametawaliwa na uchawi, wakati wao umefika. Wewe umenitazama siku ya leo. Neema na kibali cha Bwana kikawe juu ya maisha yako.
Na wewe Kanyi, what is it? Ew.
By the way, Mimi, I'm here for my own personal reasons. As you can see, the exams are around the corner, just in case you didn't get the memo.
You decided to finish me kumaro.
You know what? Sio kupenda kwangu. It is because of the joy I have in my heart. Yani you joy, my joy. Yani nimepewa punishment kwa kukuja mapema. Aki, sitawahi kuja mapema. I swear. You people are wasting my time. You continue being there. They will take advantage of you.
Huyu shitake na kuanga special.
You are being a comedian. Me, resign my job over my dead body.
We are enjoying our festivities and gearing up for Christmas Day. One question lingers in my mind. What is the origin of Christmas?
The celebration of Jesus' birth is not just called Jesus' birth, it is called Christmas. The celebration of Mass during Christ's Day, which is Christmas.
The reason it was dated at that 25th, they say now, because we have the Christian fraternity mixed up with the pagan culture. They also claim to be the birth of a son, and they are also talking about the birth of a son. So they just dated it together. Now the merging together made it the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ.
So by the time Christmas was being given a date and a time and being told that the birth of Jesus Christ, there was already celebration in the pagan world. So they were all brought together so that the whole world can celebrate.
Welcome back to KBC Prime Edition. It's now time for us to take a look at what's making headlines in the world of business. Now, the State Department of Livestock is scouting for investors to lease 15,000 acres of land held by government agencies under the department.
Well, Director of Veterinary Services, Alan Azagalel, says the land would be leased for 30 years for livestock production.
The government plans to lease to the private sector about 500,000 acres of land held by government agencies for food production. The lease period will range between 10 to 35 years. The State Department of Livestock says 15,000 acres belonging to Bachuma Livestock Export Processing Zone is to be leased for 30 years to private investors who will then operationalize the facility.
Considering leasing it out to investors so that we have a partnership where it is run by these investors, clear our animals and have them exported.
The facility is earmarked to be a disease-free area that will be used as a holding ground for livestock destined for the export markets.
Seen there's been an advertisement for expression of interest, and we are expecting to see how many investors would be interested in leasing this facility, completing the construction, and we meet the requirements and the intention.
Azegele says the export facility and the vaccination exercise planned to start next month are part of a strategic plan to increase livestock production in Kenya.
Animal health and this healthy animal is critical in ensuring that we are able to have a productive sector, and also that meets our food security needs and also the demand for export.
We have more than 3 million doses that are ready for rollout, and we are working with the Director of Veterinary Services so that we align our production capacities, our production plans together with the demand and supply of the vaccine for the same.
Benson Rioba reporting for Easy Friday.
Well, now registered farmers should collect over 1 million bags of subsidized fertilizer that is now available at various distribution points ahead of the long rains planting season.
Principal Secretary Dr. Paul Rono says prompt collection of the subsidized fertilizer will enhance preparation by farmers for the next planting season.
All maize farmers who deliver their maize to National Cereals and Produce Board have been paid. If there is any payment, could be very little. I saw it is around 10 million remaining, which will be cleared next week. All farmers will be planting in the month of January, February, March, as early as now, to start collecting their fertilizers, because they are there now in the store.
Moving on, Ajira Digital is stepping up sensitization of women and the youth on online opportunities and skills to boost the number of Kenyans working online.
Well, Ajira Digital National Coordinator Simon Muremi says online work opportunities could help Kenya tackle unemployment, especially among the youth.
Our end to the government, end to the county governments and regional leaders and even the GAO officers, that we need to sensitize our young people that regardless of your areas of training, there are opportunities in the digital space. The world is digital. There are opportunities locally and globally that you can access by being trained on this through this program on digital and digitally enabled work, and be able to make a living out of it, a dignified work, decent income out of it. If you have a disability of any form, you're also able to take advantage of this opportunity. We focus also on women. 70% of our participants as a target should be women. So we ensure our young ladies are able to access training, able to access mentorship, and also linkages.
Either now, Housing Finance Group plans to spend nearly R1 billion shillings in automation of its operations to enhance efficiency.
The cash represents 15% of the 6.3 billion shillings the listed firm has netted from a rights issue, if floated, which was over-subsidized by 38.2%. HF Group CEO Robert Kibara says the remaining amount would be invested in expansion of the firm's operations. Kibara says the oversubscription highlights investor confidence in Kenya.
We went to our shareholders asking for 4.6 billion shillings investment, in additional investments, and that's formed the core of the rights issue. We have now concluded the process. We have received applications of 6.4 billion shillings, which is just under 140% performance against target. The bank now does have sufficient capital for its existing business, but also it has sufficient business to grow significantly into the future.
All right, now Changamwe residents have welcomed construction of a 15,000 metric ton common user liquefied petroleum gas terminal in the area.
Speaking during a public participation forum on the project, Mombasa County Commissioner Mohamed Noor said the forum offered members of the public an opportunity to raise any concerns as well as be informed on how the LPG project will impact their lives.
Well, the LPG project will involve construction of 6 tanks with a capacity of 2,500 metric tons.
Tumepunguza capacity from 30,000 to 15,000. Hii yote tunataka tuwe na jirani tuwe pamoja na tuna cooperate kwa hii mradi.
Sasa sisi tuwashukuru kwamba hii kampuni imetimiza recommendations za koti 100%.
And finally, in business, small-scale horticultural farmers are set to be trained on how to meet the requirements of accessing the European market. International Labour Organization County Director Caroline Kamati says the training by the government of Kenya, in conjunction with the ILO and the European Union, targets to help unlock more potential of Kenya's horticultural subsector.
Programs on entrepreneurship training, we have programs on skills, upskilling and reskilling. We are working around digital economy in terms of what we are calling digitalize your work.
For us, we are looking more at how we can support small and medium-sized enterprises, cooperatives, companies owned by women and youth to access the EU market.
I know it could be a challenge for farmers to access market out there, and sometimes they get swindled by traders out there. So probably really the government needs to do something, especially, for example, the FPIC and all these other organizations that are tasked.
And
right then.
And that report brings us to the end of the business news tonight. Our colleague Bernard Okumu will be right back with the sports news. We're curious, of course, to know how the CHAN preparations are going on. Kago?
Absolutely. That in a moment.
It is always a good time on Bridge over Congo.
Catch us every Saturday from 10 p.m. till midnight.
Join me, the Rumba Supreme Leader and the Grand Ayatollah Simeon Mfumo Kimbango and
Winnie Marie Jose, Bridge over Congo.
Mungu esilakano nzungute kasielenge Mungu esilakano.
Chumvi huyeyuka chunguni lakini ladha yake hubakia.
Glad to have you on board and very good evening. Welcome to the sports on this particular Friday evening. I'm Bernard Okumu, and let's begin with the CHAN, where the Confederation of Africa Football CAF President Patrice Motsepe is confident that Kenya will host the African Nations Championship CHAN when owing to the progress the country is making in getting ready for the championship now scheduled from the 1st to 28th of February next year. Motsepe, who is on a tour of the co-host for the 2025 CHAN, also met President William Ruto at State House, Nairobi. With just over 40 days to go before East Africa plays host to Africa's second biggest football showpiece, the African Nations Championship CHAN, preparations for the games have hit crescendo. On his latest tour to assess the country's preparations, the CAF president, Patrice Motsepe, expressed optimism that Kenya will be ready to host the championship in February next year.
I leave Kenya with even more confidence and even more excitement that indeed there's huge progress.
Motsepe met President William Ruto at State House in Nairobi, where the head of state thanked him for the organization's show of confidence in the country's ability to host the games. Motsepe inspected venues earmarked to host the matches, which include Kasarani and Nyayo National Stadium. He also visited Ulinzi Sports Complex, Kirigiti Stadium in Kiambu County, and Police Sacco Stadium, which will act as training venues during the month-long tournament.
The challenges we've had, huge progress has been made to deal with those challenges, and I'm confident the next time I'll be here in Kenya will be for the CHAN.
Outgoing Sports Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen said the country was committed to holding a successful CHAN.
Where goods would have been shipped by sea, we have decided that to ship them by air to make sure that everything is ready. And I can assure you that with the support of all government support, we are going to have deliver CHAN on time.
Going to be ready for this event. We are going to put one of the best shows that the continent has seen. This will be a critical launchpad for us towards AFCON 2027, and we will make all of you proud, not only Kenya, but the region and Africa as a continent.
After the Kenyan stop, the CAF president, who also visited Tanzania and Zanzibar, headed to Uganda, where he will complete his tour of the 2025 co-hosts. And over to athletics now, where the first phase of the constructing 290 sports academies in Kenya will commence next month. According to the National Assembly Sports Committee Chairman Dan Wanyama, each constituency will have one academy for talent harnessing and development, as well as creation of jobs through sports and arts.
The construction of 290 camps will begin early next year, according to Honorable Dan Wanyama.
The government has already budgeted for 37 sports academies across the country, whereby the young people will be able, when they are done with their school, maybe when they close their term, they will be actually selected to go into a sports academy now to get the technique and also to be coached further by the people who understand specific disciplines across the board.
Wanyama was speaking yesterday when he visited a school holiday youth athletes camp in Nairobi and led the distribution of shoes to over 40 athletes who have been in a month-long training under the guidance of specialized coaches.
This is a focus that all the talented young men and women are going to be all-inclusive in these sports academies, including arts and film, because the sports academy will be all-inclusive.
The youth camps, which are held every school holiday by Athletics Kenya, with support from the Sports Ministry, are ongoing at all 54 camps in the country and are set to be closed this Sunday.
Na mimi nakimbia 100 meters. Na camp imekuwa vizuri, sio mbaya. Tulikuwa tunakimbia na tumefanya mazoezi vizuri.
Nimekuja camp, tuna train under coach Papicho, Utawala Sprints Club. Aspiration yangu ni hopefully by 2027 LA Olympics. If we make it, if all will be well, then we'll be there.
Athletics Kenya has been running school holiday youth camps since 2017, with many current world beaters emanating from the camps, among them Olympic champions Emmanuel Wanyonyi, Faith Kipyegon and Beatrice Chebet, as well as reigning 800 meters world champion Mary Moraa.
Elsewhere, defending champions Githurai All-Stars rallied from a goal down to beat Kawasaki 2-1 to retain the Sakaja Super Cup men's title at the Dandora Stadium as Shrink Park Starlets won the ladies' title. Cedrine Achoya broke the deadlock in the 17th minute to hand Kawasaki, who were last year's losing finalists. The lead, Edwin Nganga, leveled for Githurai All-Stars in the 50th minute. Hassan Masood scored the winner with 8 minutes to play. Following the win, Githurai were gifted 3 million Kenya shillings winner's prize money as Kawasaki received 2 million shillings. The women's final saw Shrink Park Starlets declared champions after their opponents, South Sea Queens, were disqualified for fielding ineligible players in their semi-final match. Shrink Park pocketed 1 million shillings.
Moja mbili ananyanyuka vile vile. Mheshimiwa Gavana anapiga makofi yake. Hebu tazama kwa namna jinsi ngoma.
Moving on, over 50 upcoming basketballers have benefited from a basketball clinic organized by Dribble Dreams organization at Diwopa, Kayole, Nairobi. The training is meant to empower the players through the sport, which the organizers say gives the youngsters an opportunity to break through financial and socio-economic barriers. At the conclusion of the 5-day camp, 3 promising players were selected in line for sports scholarships abroad, with the number set to increase in subsequent editions. The foundation, which is based in Canada, has impacted 300 young basketballers as a tool of change.
Our camp up with the final tournament, and the kids are very happy. We've established and nurtured these relationships with all the kids that will last a lifetime. Our plan is to do this every year in another country in Africa, and stay tuned for what we do next year.
The goal is to use basketball as a tool to help these kids not just succeed on the court, but off the court as well. We're not just running basketball clinics, but we're running in-classroom sessions to help these kids develop their skills and help foster them to be the best person possible. Our goal at Dribble Dreams is to empower youth through basketball. Basketball has the ability to make a difference in these youth lives, and I just want to thank everyone who has helped make this possible.
Across the borders, holders Liverpool will face Tottenham Hotspur in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, while Arsenal have been drawn against Newcastle. The semi-final first legs will be played in the week commencing on 6th January 2025, and the second legs in the week beginning 3rd February, with Wembley Stadium hosting the final on 16th of March. Tottenham edged Manchester United 4-3 in the quarter-final, where Dominic Solanke scored a brace to guide his side to victory.
Of the evening. Oh, Forster's given it away. It might be United's best chance here, and Zirkzee takes it. Spurs playing out, caught out.
I think changing, maybe moving Fernandez.
Oh, no. Forster's been caught again. A minute. Lanky in there.
3 on the edge of the box.
Oh, and he's into the net. Henningson has just scored from the corner. He scores from
Diallo.
Oh, and it's in. Johnny Evans at the near post.
Well, and on that Carabao Cup tip is how we end it this Easy Friday from the Sports Desk. I'm Bernard Okumo. Thank you so much for watching.
Mr. Bernard, we come from way back. Thank you for this sporting update. We're about to put a cap on Easy Friday, at least the news beat of it, because coming up right after this, DJ Coljax is on the other side of the studio. Maiji, how you doing, my brother? Good to see you, man. Good music coming up. Some old school, new school, and all good vibes. Now, see you. Apple sour. So the next time you see them, they'll be after Christmas. What do you want to tell them for Christmas, Carren?
We wish them a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. And we will be here next Friday.
I wish I could sing. I'll say, we wish you a Merry Christmas. That's the best I can do on behalf of the team.
Listen to the words, not the voice.
Absolutely. They used to say that back in the day when you used to sing in church. If you're a millennial like I am, on behalf of the team, good night, so long.
Good night. Thank you so much for keeping it Easy Friday. We will see you next week on Easy Friday. Our sign language interpreter has been Anu Wangeshi. Thank you very much. Don't go too far. DJ Coljax will be back with Disco Funk. Good night.
That's what I'm talking about.
Listen to the words, not the voice.
Star 570 hash. Option 1 kuna PS5 na ni full package na inakuja na JBL Party Box. Hiyo boom experience pia iko.
Napenda kutumia nafasi hii